Today is January 24th, 24. Okay. Yesterday, the 23rd, in Marks and Hartville. Uh, we'll start off before that. I was in Hartville Kitchen. People walked in. We seen her post of that girl, the stripper. Okay. Where all those strippers were showing up saying he went out with me today. You could tell they were prostitutes and strippers. Looked them up around the strip clubs around Dave's work, and it's like, oh my god, that one girl looks like that one girl they were doing everything for. And I put it up on Facebook. Okay. All right. And it's like, she does married men all night long. What, 10, 20? She's a stripper. She's a prostitute. She has sex with married men all night long. Why would you pick out Dave? Hmm? Then you gotta think. Dave had hired the serial killer. For we all work for the king from Texas. We are his men. We're here to help. Dave hired us. Okay. Michelle and Pete were part of the Florida human traffickers. The M13. Because the Latinos said they work for Pete. Well, here they are all working for the Russian drug lord fighting over this area for the fentanyl king, the Iraqi terrorist. Because the drug lord, that's from Texas. If you Google who he is actually a fentanyl king, an Iraqi military translator for the U.S. military. Went into the dark web, largest fentanyl king and one of the largest ones in the United States. He was fighting over this area with the Russian. The M13, the Latinos I found out were working with the Russian. So Dave's in there. He has hired the fentanyl king's men. Well, she works with the opponent. So she latches on to Dave so that she's got it into what the other drug dealers are doing. I put that up on my Facebook. Somebody from Florida liked it. It is what's going on. She latched on to him so they'd have it into that drug cartel. Okay? Alright, I go in Hartville Kitchen. People walk in. Nobody's to say a word. That picture of that girl, she is a stripper. We all seen her. They said the human traffickers were helping that girl get everything, and the drug dealers were doing it. And she was having them do it to her. Okay? Nobody's to say a word. I go into Mark's. People come in and said the fentanyl king's men were having them do all those things to her. Well, yeah, they said they've hired them. Okay? 18 in front of the cops. Okay? Other men are walking around. They said, Bill. And he's like, I know, I already told these people that she can't handle what those people did to her. Shouldn't have asked me to. Have my skull bashed in. I got a big dent in the back of my head. 12/21/18 shooting night. By Christmas of 18, Dave's caught with the shooters on police surveillance. Had to hide not to get killed. Huh? Almost shot driving. Had a slam tuck and swerve. Faced 6 stalkers inside Walmart. Huh? Dave beat me with internal injuries. Getting human trafficked between May and June of 19. And then raped and tortured July to September 19. And they show videos of that to children. Shouldn't have asked me to put up with any of that. Huh? Could anybody in their right mind have to deal with this? I still shake at times. I stutter. I stutter from what I lived through. Okay? He's like, he's talking to him. He said, Bill, he's like, well, I already told all these people. She can't handle what these people did to her. And nobody's to say a word to her. While they were telling people that, the cops were telling people that she couldn't handle what they did to her by January 19. And I hadn't even been tortured, had her human trafficked. You want to put it that way? Had my skull bashed in, almost shot driving, facing stalkers. No, I couldn't handle it. I shouldn't have been asked to. Okay? And he's talking to him walking around while I'm walking around Marks and Hartville on the January 23rd, 24. Pull their things. 2 guys. And that bill said, you know, I want you to thank all the officers for looking the other way and letting me get away with this. I could be legally charged and held responsible for everything that happened here. And I wanted you to personally thank all those officers for allowing me to get away with this. He wants to thank the cops for aiding and abetting crimes. They sold the login. February 2nd, 22, Burlington Coat Factory. My phone's tapped. FBI informant. They sold it. The M13 is live streaming other cases that have hacked into it. I reported mine years ago being hacked into. Now they're live streaming other ones. It was on the internet. February 2nd, 22, I'm in Burlington Coat Factory. A Latino man walks up with his girlfriend. She's like, it's not funny what's going on here. He said, I know, I wish I wouldn't have drugged her first and told her to say it before. Got my client away from him. He's like, Karen, I heard that Latino man admit to drugging you and telling you to say it before. People ran in to save a lot, clear across town. Oh my goodness, they admitted to drugging her and telling her to say it before. Down on 6th Street, we pull in. An investigator from Ravenna in a black suit pulls up and said, I seen her out today. I found out that bastard really did drug her and tell her to say it before. The African-American man that lived across the street in a brown house ran out of his house and yelled it to the postman. And postman's like, we all heard him admit to drugging her and telling her to say it before. We all heard. Even garbage men were complaining about it. Just like they heard of the shower scene in the other room, them admitting to framing me, and all the other times they admitted to drugging me and telling me to say stuff and photoshopping everything. They sold the case within the first month. That's how ridiculous this is. That's where, on that other video, you want to hear a bad joke? A man trying to kill his wife with a stripper walks into an FBI agent's office with an occult leader and a human trafficker with a sextortion scheme of roofie confessions and photoshopping and washing, and the FBI agent fell for it. And he stole the informant's money. That's real funny, isn't it? Not even on a good day. Now he wants to thank everybody for looking the other way. Well, he stole over $300,000. Really not funny, and thousands have died. And I've been tortured, human trafficked in front of people. And where these horrible, horrible, horrible people did this to me. They show videos of it. And people mocked me. Do you know those idiots? Now, I've never been questioned of wrongdoing. I've never been prosecuted. I've never been found guilty. They made up a lie that I had charges. Had people follow me around harassing me. And I can pass an FBI background check. You don't get in trouble for being a victim. That some drug cartels breaking in on a sextortion scheme, Photoshop washing, laughed that they did it, and stalking tapes, and that where you had bruises you couldn't explain, throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out, and a severe personal infection, that they had been drug beating, raping you, and drugging you up and telling you to say stuff in a sextortion scheme, and you never talk to anybody. That sexual predators are preying on people in their homes running scams. That makes you a victim. You don't get charges for that. I've never talked to anybody. I've never been questioned. I've never been prosecuted. I've never been found guilty. Officer Mark is a taller white guy with white hair. He is assigned to my case. August 22nd or 23rd of 23, outside Kohl's, my car's bugged. He's telling a lady, now this is funny, we weren't allowed to tell her, the FBI left her there. She said, did her ex-husband defend her? He said, yes, we taped him. Did anybody ever talk to her? He said, no. Then they had to have framed her. He said, it's documented they framed her. She's like, none of this is funny. Was it the drug cartel? He said, yes. So it's documented the drug cartel framed me. Am I in trouble for the drug cartel framing me? No. And then she's like, none of this is funny. And said, it's documented it was a medication error, and it's documented some other woman was using her insurance. She's like, none of this is funny. The FBI left her there. He said, I know that. So where that bill's thanking everybody because he stole my money and he aided and embedded human trafficking and serial killing of women and children, I think he needs to go to jail. Everybody turn him in. thanking the cops for looking the other way and helping them get away with this? Are you fucking kidding? Some guy was on the phone. You tell that Mark, well, they're supposed to have her saying, what? That's probably where they drugged her and told her to say it. It is? Well, tell that officer Mark to take care of it. Honey, he already took care of it. He took care of it in 18. They were drugging me up and telling me say stuff in front of the cops in 18. That they were photoshopping everything, and that this whole thing was nothing but a bet between the two drug lords, and they were fighting over this area and using me as a pawn, and they photoshopped all their lies. They admitted it in front of the cops in 18. If you want to find Dave with the human traffickers, right before Christmas of 18, either Christmas Eve or the day before is when that shooting is, where the duplex after 4490 John Thomas. There's a duplex, an old lady lived on one side, she was in the hospital. There was a group of men that rented there, they never came back. Dave's caught with the shooters. Okay? He's caught with the shooters. Of how they killed 2 people. Somebody mentioned that today, too. They found a video of him being caught. Saying they killed people. Yeah, 2. Being an opponent drug team, they probably were. Okay? I had to hide not to get killed that night. He bragged to my daughter-in-law, Dixie, that they had people up there to shoot me and they went to the wrong house. Okay? And then January 25th, 19, he should be caught with them 2 in the evening. Okay? And several other times under police surveillance, working with the fentanyl, the drug dealers, both sides. That's a good way to get yourself in a lot of trouble, working with opponent drug dealers. It's like, are you nuts? December, was it 21st of 23? Walmart, 6289 in the morning, a little kid said, we're supposed to yell weird, blah, blah. And her mom's like, no, don't you say a word to her. They made everything up on her. It was those 2 drug lords fighting over this area. They used her as a pawn so people wouldn't tell on them for drug trading and human trafficking in front of people. They said in 18, too. And she said they're not even mad at her because she didn't know why all these people were yelling stuff at her and hurting her. They're not even mad at her. And they came back and killed her ex-husband because their men went to jail. Nobody's to say a word to her. They admitted to killing Dave inside Walmart 62, and that they made everything up on me. And it was just the drug dealers fighting over this area by the food aisle. Okay? Now think about that.